Welcome to the show. Drake and Josh from Nickelodeon hit show. Drake and Josh. Oh wait,
Good
no, I'm
afternoon,
sorry. It's
Seattle.
Jake and Josh. Sorry, my
No, you
bad.
no, you got the right paperwork from our people. It's Drake and Josh. We're here. I'm Drake. He's Josh, and he's gonna talk about his long recovery because I just watched a YouTube video about Josh doing that. Funny enough,
About doing what?
so the guy from Drake and Josh, he's on for later. Go on Mythical Kitchen. This guy does this thing called Last Meals, and he has Josh on there, and he's like, "Yeah, man, like this is a great last meal." I've been in recovery for 10 years because television's destroyed my life, and I won't ruin it for anyone else except for that.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's funny.
so
That's funny. I'm glad
it's
that all
actually
worked out.
it's really funny. Actually, you should check it out. There's
I'm
my plug. I hope they send me the money.
I'm glad my joke kind of like worked into something.
beautiful. Nice job, Drake.
You're welcome. Good job,
You're
Josh.
a real entertainer.
We've got Jake and Josh from the band Supernatural Kings, a Black Sabbath tribute band. And we're going to get into how that came to be. They've got a show coming up at the River Street Jazz Cafe on October 29th, Halloween weekend. I hear there's a costume party and all that kind of fun stuff. But guys, how are you doing?
Great, man.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I'm out in the I don't know what it maybe it's 40
Outside.
degrees right
Outside.
now.
You're living the dream outside. That's great.
Yeah, I do the Wim Hof the Wim Hof technique every night before bed.
Okay.
I just get out here and get some cold on me.
Looks very peaceful. I mean, I'm hoping that looks like a neighbor behind you. I'm hoping we maybe capture something that we shouldn't.
Well, if I were to turn the camera a little bit this way, it's pretty much a circus most nights. You know, we had we had the cops here. We had the cops here the other night. It was like 2 in the morning, maybe 10 to 2, but pretty damn close. And somebody just had music on. So I mean, unbelievably loud. It sounded like it was coming out of my kitchen. It was so fucking loud. And I'm not generally one to complain. Sometimes I'll just come outside if it's somebody in a car pulling up, and I'll just tap on the window and be like, "Hey, bud, I have a couple of young kids that have
Yeah.
to go to school in the morning. If you don't mind,
Fire one
just
off in the air, like let them know
yeah,
like for
yeah,
real.
yeah." And I mean, I'm a dad now, so generally shirts off, you know,
Tidy whiteys,
tidy
underwear.
whities. I have two pair just for just for the occasion. I put them on just to get some authority, but so though there were no cars or anything. I couldn't see anybody in the neighborhood. I'm like, where the hell is this coming from? So I just I just did the thing. I called it in. I called in the complaint, and hopefully they don't see this and then come to the house.
I was
But
gonna say you just outed yourself.
Yeah, you just
yeah,
out
it's
yourself,
fine.
man.
Whatever. So the cops roll up and they pull up to the house, and then so the music turns off, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, like great, no problem, handled, no problem. Cops go around the corner, music comes right back on. Uh, so I called the second time. I called the second time, and I was like, "Hey, I don't mean to be wasting anybody's time and resources, but you know, they they just kind of turned it back on. If you could just maybe swing back through." And same thing. They killed it, and then the cops and they turned it back on. So
That's awesome.
nothing. No end. No great end to that story. But I just put some headphones in and went to sleep.
That reminds me of a time, not the house I live in now, but the house prior to this, or maybe even before that. My wife and I are sitting in the living room watching some TV. It's probably 9, 10 o'clock at night,
Mm.
and just hear smashing outside. Just this smashing. What the hell is going on? So I peek my head out the door, and this kid, he had like his like an armoire or like a desk or something, and he's outside. He pushes it out of his like house, and he's just smashing the shit.
What,
And
like a hammer or like another
yeah,
piece of
like
furniture?
something. I don't even
I
remember what
I
it
hope
was.
another armoire, just
Yeah,
like
just
super
Yeah.
he's just
Right.
smashing, and I don't really know how it got to the point where I ended up calling the cops because I mean, like, if you're gonna
Mhm.
do that, that's fine, whatever. But I mean, he was obviously unstable, and that was we
Mhm.
just first moved in there, and we thought we were moving into a quiet neighborhood, and We learned a
Right.
lot that night, and that's when I bought my first gun. But it got to a
Yes,
point where
sir.
he's outside smashing shit. I had to call the cops. The cops came. But he wasn't doing anything like wrong per se. Outside of
Nothing
just
illegal,
yeah,
right?
just being
Yeah.
loud. And but I also found out that day that the kid was in jail and he just got out. And I'm like, what am I? Where did I move to? Um, but then at some point I thought everything was cool. And then I just hear screaming outside. I'm like, what the hell is going on now? So I peek through the window on the side of the house, and like he's like in the tree line, like facing my house, screaming at my house.
Screaming at them.
Yeah. He goes, you don't know who the fuck you're messing with. I've killed 147 people. And I'm like,
Oh
I
yeah.
said, I said,
You have a lot of arm wars in your house if you have 147.
I said, babe, call the cops back. And again, like, and I'm like,
Holy shit.
I didn't want him to know that I called the cops. 'Cause I'm like, I have to live next to this guy. Like, I don't know what he's
Yeah.
doing. He's out of his fucking
Sure.
mind.
You
He ended up disappearing a couple weeks later. And I remember the next day he's like cleaning up the mess. And I walk outside. I'm like, dude, what was that? And he's like, I don't know, blah blah blah. And he goes, did you call the cops? And I'm like,
fuck
no.
no. Yeah.
What are you talking about? I woke up when the
Yeah.
cops came. What?
Yeah. Of course, dude. I mean, where do you live? What town are you in? Not specifically, obviously.
That was Duryea.
Duryea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's from, I mean, I don't know them all past Scranton, but let's say from there to like Nanticoke, there's pieces of each town that have that situation available,
Yeah.
the wild card neighbor.
Yeah.
I find it's best, I have a couple guys in my neighborhood that have kind of come and gone over the years, but you try to make friends with everybody, because you're like, inevitably there's going to be some shit between some of these people, and I want to be on the right side of it. I want to
Right.
be the guy that before the lipstick goes on, like my name is
Yep.
crossed off the,
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
safe. You're safe.
yeah, off the list.
Yeah. So I moved to a much nicer. I mean, where I was living was not bad. I mean, I just kind of, bad luck, I guess. But now
Well, it's not bad here either, but that's the
right.
thing, right?
It's you never know.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I mean, go ahead.
No, that was the end of my story. I mean, it's just I went the next day and I bought a gun. I'm like, I don't know. This guy's on the side of my house yelling at us that he's killed 147 people, and I knew that wasn't the case, but
Right.
you never know. You never know.
I'm sure he would be telling you first if that was the day.
Yeah.
Right. That's coming up. Yeah. He wants to be on the podcast, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
That would be
interesting.
exclusive, right? Before
I forget his name.
Jeff Armour.
Jeff Armour. Yeah.
Jeff Armour. Didn't he play? He played bass in Pearl Jam, I think.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
But and we have a birthday boy tonight. It's Jake's birthday.
Yeah, buddy.
Whose
Yeah.
birthday is it? Who's Jake? Oh, if you're talking, no, you got
Jake.
the ad copy. No, that's Drake.
No,
Yeah. You're old enough to drink now, Jake?
I'm finally old enough to drink, and thank God, because that show is 21 plus, so they weren't going to let me in.
Right. We got to time it right.
It's amazing that you're having a birthday and you're talking to an old man like me.
Age is relative, man. Someone asked me, like, how old are you today? I'm 29. And I'm just like, counting on my fingers if we're not doing video. That was me this afternoon. I'm like, oh yeah, 29. So
it's nice to forget. I wonder what what it would all be like if we didn't keep track of the years.
I think it'd be better. I think it'd be a lot better.
Yeah, no points of reference, no milestones that you feel like you may have missed, or things that are supposed to be done by 25 and achieved by 30, etc. Right? Like,
I treat it like. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, none of that's real anyway. But you could certainly get wrapped up in it quite easily.
That's where I was gonna get to. It's like I treat it like the clock on the wall. Like it's like that thing's just there, so I know what time to get to work. Same thing with age. It's like, oh, it's time to get my prostate checked soon.
Well, it's funny you should say that because today's
Did you just turn
October.
40?
Well, today's October 18th, and I turned 40 in I guess it's 2 weeks today. Yeah, 2 weeks today.
Cool.
Oh, you're an October baby too.
No, I'm a November 1st baby.
Oh, you'd be November. You could tell I really know what day my birthday is. Like, oh, in 2 weeks it'll be like October 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So you're scheduling the appointment. You got to get the.
I think the age is 45, but then I heard it was 40. But
Right.
I also just had a vasectomy, and I kind of want to. If I should get checked, I want to get checked this year. So because I already like hit my deductible with my my vasectomy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want to
burn it up.
Yeah.
Get your whole lower half taken care of.
Gotta take exactly. Make sure I'm good from the waist down. But
right,
it's weird because like you're talking about, oh, it's just a number, blah blah. But like this one's like really hitting me hard because I keep saying, well, maybe I live till I'm 80, right? Like if I'm lucky, I live till I'm 80. So that means my life is halfway over.
Yeah.
Right. And then you think about it, and it's like, how many of those 40 remaining years are going to be good years? Meaning like no health issues, no like bum knee, no prostate problems, God forbid, like all the what?
Sure.
15, 20, half that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, my grandfather's like 75, and he fell off a 2-story roof onto his chest. Has heart problems now, and he's still putzing around the house. So, it works out sometimes.
And I mean, I think it could be up to you to some degree, right? I mean,
it is, 100%.
But I'm lazy. Exercise.
I'm lazy. I don't exercise.
Right.
I eat like a raccoon. Like, I mean,
right. You're in the garbage can.
I'm in the trash. Yeah.
Right.
That's the hardest thing,
man.
You're
fucked. Yeah, you're fucked. I mean, just don't even get checked. Forget it. So listen, there's many options. I mean, one of them could just be like the Hunter S. Thompson approach. You know what I mean? Come skidding into the door like in flames and covered in mud or whatever.
Yeah.
Just make them all good years, but just have less of them, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm a dad like you, so like now I'm like, I love life, right? I mean, like I love my daughter is, I think she'll be 14 weeks next week. My son will be 5 in December, so like I'm watching them, and I'm like, I can't miss a minute of this.
Right.
But I guess I'm too selfish to fucking take action and take care of my body so that I'm around to see it. So I mean, I'll have to have a talk with Jesus, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he shows up. The stories I hear, he shows up right at the perfect moment. So
always.
I don't think you're gonna miss it.
Right at
I
the
think
end.
it'll be obvious. Yeah,
right
it'll be obvious.
Yeah.
Like in the toast, you'll be. It's all starting to get hazy, and then you're like, "Holy fuck, there it is!"
Yeah, there it is. All
if there's a head on that beer, you gotta look at the head on your beer and be like, "Right there, Lord."
Right. Yeah. It's in the Guinness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of beer, right? Nope, not in there tonight.
No.
I mean, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I'm drinking beer. What are we doing?
Maybe he's at the bottom. He's usually at the bottom for me.
I think Jake and I are the ones blowing it here. You're doing it right. You got the cheers in the back, I see, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cheers, Boston.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I must mention.
Don't pull anything.
Yeah, that's. I released my own beer last week.
Yeah. I want to talk about that.
October 13th was called Popko's Porter.
Very cool. UFO.
What's up?
Is it a UFO on?
There's UFOs on there. Yep.
Yeah.
Flying around. Got Axel.
That's awesome.
Got Axel Boy on there from Axelrad.
Yeah.
Sick.
But yeah, so I wanted to do this. And my idea was to team up with a local brewery, kind of bring awareness to them. And then raise money from the sale of the beer for the Lake Lehman music programs.
Yeah.
Dude.
As we all know, those programs are constantly being, cut and cut and cut. And
yep.
It was funny because I didn't think anyone would care. Like I'm a nobody, right? I'm like, will people even care? Like they'll probably be thinking, who's this idiot who put their name on a beer with their stupid fucking face? And it sold out. It was sold out by Saturday afternoon. It was released on Thursday afternoon. It was gone by Saturday.
That's great.
You did that with Back Mountain, right?
Yeah, Back Mountain Brewing. And then I wanted to do a coffee porter. So he had a
Yeah.
guy who has a company called Bean Nick Coffee Company,
Mm-hmm.
and he supplied the coffee for it. He actually took 5 different beans and roasted it specifically for this beer.
Awesome.
I was super nervous about it, right? Because I was like, I never knew this guy's coffee, and I'm like, fuck, like, I mean, you could fuck coffee up, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he could also just be like, I really like Folgers, and that's my
big
third
time.
party. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if this tastes like shit? Like my name's all over it. Like I was on the news like 2 or 3 times. I was in the newspaper. Like, what if this like,
Right.
this
You're
big
really
What?
you're hanging it out. Yeah.
but
It's like
like,
the swords over your head waiting to fall, man.
yeah, but like I tried to do it, and I was like, I was blown away. I mean, it was like better than I could ever have imagined, and people seem to love it. People were driving. I feel bad. People were driving from Berwick on Sunday, and it was already gone at that point. So I felt bad
Mm.
about that. But
Are
Aaron Brock from
you gonna do another run or no?
I don't know. I mean, we did 2 batches for that release because we started it, and then we're like, people started messaging the brewery and me, and then the coffee guy, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were just like out in town. They're like, dude, like save me four packs or whatever it was. I'm like, holy
That's
shit.
great.
And
That's amazing.
Well, their beer is awesome, man. I live in Dallas now. I could throw a rock at their brewery from here if
sweet.
I
Yeah,
wanted to.
it's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. Yeah, all of his stuff's really good. He's got a good hazy IPA there. Yeah, but Clay, we went to high school together. He was 2 years ahead of me. I knew his sister, but I really didn't know him. And his wife went to Lake Lehman. He went to Lake Lehman, and his daughter goes to Lake Lehman.
Mm-hmm.
So it just is this perfect like marriage of like, let's do something cool and different, and raise some money for the music programs who, constantly get funding cut from them. So
Yeah, and musicians love beer, so you kind of went to the market and you're like, that's the biggest margin. And that Venn diagram, that's a perfect half pie.
yeah, yeah. No, it was great. It was awesome. I can't thank everyone enough for. So I also launched a t-shirt campaign. You can go to the popcoproject.com. There's a tab called Popko's Porter. You can buy a t-shirt that those proceeds will go to the school programs as well. So there's still ways to donate, but unfortunately the tasty beer is gone. This is actually just a fake can.
I figure that's your prop. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna
prop
have
can.
your name on a park bench in a year or two, probably,
Yeah.
after all is said and done. Yeah.
That'd be something, I mean, it's one of those things like I've so one reason like I started this whole Popko project because I wanted to do a podcast, but
Mm.
it was also important for me to just like do good things. And that's when I launched it. We did that Shirts for the Scene campaign where we raised
Yeah.
money for the local musicians, because I feel like no one has ever done that for you guys before
Yeah.
around here. Everyone's like always, benefits is like, who can we get to play to, bring in people for this benefit? And during the pandemic, obviously there were no shows, there was no income for you guys. I'm like, how can we give back to them? So we did Shirts for the Scene, where you buy the band's t-shirt, proceeds of the sale of the shirt goes back to the band. So it was very important for me to come back with doing this and raise some more money and just do good. It was very important for me to do all of that. And where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought.
Just kind of sounds like it's just getting bigger than he anticipated, is what I'm hearing, which is
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the snowballing into something.
Yes, snowball.
I think
I
once
know.
yeah.
I remember what it was now. I've been able to do a lot of cool things in my life. I worked with the Weekender. I worked in radio. I had the radio show. Like, but I did all those things when like my kids weren't alive, or
Mhm.
now they're here, but they're way too young to even understand what the hell like any of it is. And it's like,
Well, let me ask you something, man. Do you find that now that you have kids, people say like, oh, it's it's for your kids now, or it's all about the kids now, or this or that. But I found that I have so much less time to fuck around just throughout the day, because so much needs to be done, that I'm so much more productive now that I have kids, and I've done so much more in my life, like post kids. Whereas I thought going into it, like, well, not that that's it, but you have to take them to school, and you have to make dinner, and you have to go to games, and you have to do this and
yeah,
that. that there's not going to be time to do anything. But you like, did you find as well that, like, your 2 free hours a day were so much more focused now because you had to get it done?
Yeah, the time is definitely utilized better, I guess you could say. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very tired, not because they don't sleep. They sleep very well. I just don't sleep. I do these late at night, like you said before. It's bedtime right before this, so
Yeah.
we do these things kind of late, and up late worrying about are you being a good dad? Are you being a good husband? And
No, I don't
all
think that
those
ever
things.
goes away.
Yeah, I know. It's just,
Yeah.
No.
but it's all good, man. It's all good.
That's
But
great, man. Well, congratulations, man.
thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's I think it's commendable when anybody does anything, beyond just going to work every day and punching the clock, which is obviously respectable. But when you can take stuff into your own hands and create for yourself, and especially for other people, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and the music community, and something that's obviously so valuable, and then to take oh, excuse me, once again, excuse me. Totally don't. I'm sorry. Yeah, I wouldn't think they would let you put it in a gallon jug.
Someone's looking for some Vladimir, sounds like.
Good luck. Needs a gas can because they can't put it in the gallon jug out of the thing.
Yeah.
Man, I was just trying to to pat you on the back. I got interrupted there.
No, it's all good. I don't need it. I don't need it. Thank you, though.
Well, let me just, for anybody even that's like listening or whatever, it's, you're helping the music community and then the music education. It's outstanding, That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how much we'll end up with because, like, we're waiting for the beer's over, but the t-shirts are still for sale. Well, that'll wrap up the 24th. I don't know how much it's going to be, maybe a couple grand, but I said to the vice principal or whoever he is at the school, and I said, I don't know how much we'll raise, but he goes, dude, anything, any little bit helps. So I was like, wow, I guess there's still an issue with the funding. So
totally.
Hey, they need football helmets every year. Well,
it's weird too because I was never in the music programs. I played sports. I'm 5'9" and white, so it's like I was not like a superb athlete. I played basketball. Again, I'm 5'9", so like I wasn't gonna really make it that there. So I played sports. I was okay. But yeah, typically the sports programs get the most funding because they bring in the most revenue. I get it, business, yada yada yada, but we can't forget about the other things because not everyone can be a fucking athlete.
Right, and don't forget about the musicians that are going to go on to become engineers and mathematicians, and
Yeah, exactly.
Or not,
Yep.
But
it's just like getting that foundation for. I'm a substitute teacher now, so like I kind of get it a little bit more. It's just like get underneath them and treat them like they're people instead of animals. It's just like, oh, you're little people. Because like I remember I was in high school, they're like, shut the fuck up, you're garbage. And it's just like, oh, I can be a person who's like, hey man, like you're alive, you exist. So
right.
Well, it's all anybody wants, right?
Yeah.
Just to be recognized. Yeah.
So you like do a fundraiser for them and they're just gonna be chuffed. Like they're not gonna forget that, man. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. But enough about me. We're here to talk about you guys.
Right. We can talk about you all night. It's called the Popko Project, and at the end, like, come to the show, please. It's Black Sabbath. You're gonna show up.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot how many great songs that band has.
Man.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk. Jake, I know that you've been in some bands. I know you used to work at a music store. I haven't seen you in a long time. And obviously, Josh, I don't know your history, but I guess Jake, talk a little bit about your history with music and kind of what brought you to where you are today.
Yeah, I guess I'll kind of like subdivide between like, because it's always between like audio engineering and the guitar, they kind of intersect. So like I got into it because like here's the story. I had a friend who had a guitar. It sat in the corner. He was dating my cousin. He wanted to get busy with my cousin. He's like, here's this guitar. Figure out how to play Paranoid by Black Sabbath. I sat there with headphones on, learned how to play it. And he's like, cool, now get the fuck out of here with the guitar. So I live next door to him. He sends me over. He's like, I have a guitar now, and that's why I play guitar, because my cousin was dating a friend of mine.
Okay.
And it's like
All right.
that's my story about it, and I laugh about it every time because it's almost like a joke. So like, all right, started playing guitar about 16. I started doing the VFW things. People had like PA systems. Like, these are cool. They have knobs. I played all like the shitty gigs that we all play, and then like around like 18, I did the Gods of Space thing. That's like where the Sabbath thing comes from, because it's the stoner metal. I always love Sabbath, and you can see
Which is such a great band name, by the way. Gods of Space is such a great band name.
Yeah, that was actually I think our first drummer was like, there's this book called Space Gods Revealed, and I was like, okay, well, we're not going to call it that because I don't want a question mark on the band. And I think we all just kind of like got real stoned, and we're just like, Gods of Space, and we're like, whoa. So
how the best ideas happen.
Yeah,
under the influence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, like,
DeVita.
and that's where like you guys have probably seen me do things. I did that for like on and off for like, I don't know, like 5-6 years with Hannon and like a bunch of drummers. I had Tommy Pudama and then Tyler, and then our first guy was Matt Yuskavich, and then
I'm gonna get a beer while you're explaining this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
buddy. I had, our man from Iyabu, he was in the band for like a second. He was great. But yeah, I mean that just kind of like naturally took its course as people were like adults. It's like our drummer's like, I'm going to Penn State, I got a full ride. We're like, dude, go for it. And we just kind of were like, well, we'll take a hiatus. But the Sabbath thing came out of that because Drevich, like Dustin Drevich, was like, hey, play our wedding. And we basically treated it like, well, let's learn all these songs and take it like a semester of like learning Sabbath for English. And then since he's not around, and then like Hannon, the bass player, was kind of like, I don't really want to be in a cover band. I actually went to a gig in the ice cold on top of the mountain, ran into Josh there. He's like, dude, I got this perfect drum kit. I'm telling him about the ice gig where it was like 3 degrees and we were freezing to death.
I was hoping you'd let me tell my entrance as part of my origin story.
Yeah. So, in fact, I'll leave it off there because that's where we intersect. But basically, we were both freezing our balls off, and Josh is like, I have the perfect drum set, and that was that. So, take it away.
Enter Josh freezing his balls off now.
Yeah. Exactly. The beer is warmer than the air.
Was that a Guinness?
Yeah. Guinness in a bottle.
Out of a bottle? You are,
yeah, dude. I was trying to.
You are a dangerous man. You are a dangerous man.
So yeah, I mean, I grew up in the area, I've been here most of my life, and my mid-20s, I kind of hit a wall with drums, like being self-taught, had been playing. I think I started when I was around like 10 or 11, like most people 10 to 12, something like that. And then in my like early 20s, I knew that there was way more out there, but I just couldn't access it on my own anymore. I was in the band and orchestra actually in high school, and then just playing songs, playing along the records, learning all that stuff. But I was just like, man, there's so much more available. I just don't know what the hell it is. So I ended up going to MI, the Musicians Institute in Hollywood, California, for a couple of years. Lived out there for a while. Came back. I moved to Philadelphia, and I got hooked up with a band out in New York called Leroy Justice, and made a couple records. Like it was a really cool situation because I was a fan of the band. I had seen them play a few times, and they were awesome. This is kind of like my reoccurring story of like seeing a band, being like, oh, this band is great, and then it ends up working out that I get to play drums, for a period, So I was in Leroy Justice for almost 10 years.
Oh wow.
And then we did the whole like small label thing, and we were touring, and we made a couple records with like some great producers, and it was awesome, driving in and out of New York all the time. It was great. And then after that, I hooked up with Mark and Aaron, Mark Klepaski, Aaron Fink, and Nick Coyle. Did Stardog Champion.
You were in that band?
Yeah, I was playing drums in that band. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
I had super long hair at the time.
Holy shit, dude! I mean, I'm a huge fan, and sorry to cut you off, but I'm a huge fan of Aaron and Nick and Mark, just because everything that Nick does, I mean, I love. And then obviously you
Mhm.
have the Breaking Ben history from Aaron and Mark. So yeah, I followed that
Totally.
band. I just
Mhm.
I didn't recognize it was you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it was dude, those guys are just outstanding players, which is obvious. Nick's voice obviously is tremendous, and songwriting, and Aaron's songwriting is great. Mark's thing is great. But they're really inspiring performers. Like when you get on stage, like whether it was a small stage or a big stage, like you just always felt like you were on a big stage playing with those guys. So it kind of like elevated my game a little bit, I think, playing with them and being out. We were on the road for probably about a month when that record came out, and just every night. I mean, it didn't matter. Like everybody says, like the whole cliche. It doesn't matter if there's two people in the room or 1,000. You always do your best. Um, so that was great. And then getting to do the big studio thing with them. We flew back out to LA and recorded with what the heck was his name? Neil Avron. Neil Avron did a bunch of big records, and what was really cool was we were at this studio called NRG Studios in Hollywood, and we were in Studio B, where like some Incubus records were made, and like a Green
Nice.
Day record or something, and,
Mhm.
and like all the posters on the walls. I was just like, holy fuck! Like, look at all these guys over here. Um, I got to actually use uh, the snare drum. So the drum tech comes down with all the rented gear and a great DW kit, whatever. And one of the snare drums that I got to use was the same drum that was on November Rain, Guns N' Roses
Nice. Yeah.
track.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
like this just huge red
Yeah, it's gotta
Tama
be.
snare or whatever. Yeah, it was incredible. But yeah, so after that, I actually came. When I was here, I was playing with our boy Zooey Abu for a little bit.
Yeah.
Similar story, like one of their records came out, and I was listening to it, and was just like, man, this music is so cool and exciting, and their songwriting is so inspired. And I called the dude, and Nate. I remember I was in the grocery store listening to it, and I just called him. I was like, dude, this new record's killer. And he's like, any chance you want to be in the band? Like, we need a drummer. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I'll be there. So did a little EP with them, uh, kicked around for a year or two after that, and then joined Cabinet for like 2 years.
Wow.
So I was on the road with them for a while, which again was great. Obviously, they're doing amazing shows. I got to like fulfill a dream of playing the Kirby Center, like, New Year's Eve sold out. Unbelievable to walk out on that stage, with the history that place has.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, you know, fast forward to Jake and I was at Drevich's wedding, and we go to this after party. And so we walk into Bar Noir, and there's a band on the corner, like old school, just set up on the floor, crushing Sabbath songs. Sounded amazing. Beer everywhere. Everybody's having a good time. We're in suits. Like, it was just such a great scene. And you know, I'm literally just like leaning on the wall next to the drums, or like inches away.
No,
Like I felt
you
like I was
you
at
you were
Metropolis.
not leaning on the wall. You were like over my boy Tyler, watching him screaming like, yeah,
Fuck yeah,
yeah,
fuck yeah! Like,
exactly.
filling beer. But it was like the metro. It was like the metro days.
Yeah.
Like everybody was just all on top of the band. It was so exciting and so much fun. So in my mind, I was just like, oh god damn it! Like, why didn't I think of a Sabbath tribute before this guy? Like, this is so great. So fast forward a couple months, and talking to Jake, and I'm like, how come you guys haven't played any shows since that night? It's like such a great band. And he's like, well, we don't have a drummer, and if you know anybody. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Tale as old as time being a drummer. It's like, oh, we don't have
Yeah,
anyone. It's like, all right, here we go.
That's I was gonna
we
say,
do
like,
now.
I know several drummers who kind of just like either have eh, become parts of bands or just do a lot of fill-ins. Like, I mean, AJ Jump was in 1,000 bands.
Oh yeah,
And it sounds
yeah.
like you're the same thing. Like you're just like in this band and this band and this band, and like it's always a drummer,
Yep.
unless you're
Well,
Justin Mazer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Mazer's another, he's got a special thing going. Well, he was in Leroy Justice,
Yeah.
Mazer.
Yep.
He came in. We were actually, when we were looking for a new guitar player, we were going down the list of all these guys, and then I think he and I were meeting up for coffee, and I was like, "Holy fuck! Right, of course. Like, why didn't I think to call Justin?" But he was, Christ, he was like 20 at the time, or a little bit older. I don't know, like 21 or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But he's such a beast, that guy.
I saw him. He used to play with Mike Doherty. They had a band called Dirty Water.
Oh yeah.
They were probably, man, I feel like they were 15 or 16 years old playing Outsiders in South Wilkes-Barre.
Yep.
And I was probably 2000, maybe they're a little older than that. Maybe they were like 17, 18, but I was like early 20s seeing them out. And I was just like, I knew there was something special about both of them, particularly Justin. As a 17-year-old kid, I was like, this kid is going to do something.
Right. He plays like an adult.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was crazy just watching them play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A great moment with him was so he like auditioned as though that was necessary. He obviously was just going to get that gig with us and Leroy. But so the first gig we played was some music festival in New York, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was not like a multiple day thing, but it was like an all day, but nice big stage and the whole thing. So we're getting set up to play, and up to that point, Mazer had maybe just like played the Jazz Cafe or Outsiders or whatever. So the amps are set up where they are, and he like pulls his cable out of his gig bag, and it's like a 6-foot cable, and the amp's like 20 feet away. Like he doesn't have the length like to get to his amp, and he's like, the bass player was right there. He was ready. He's like, I got a big stage cable for you, buddy. You're all set. And then at the end of the night, remember the band Kung Fu? Remember those guys?
No.
They were like like a jam band, but like super high energy, intense, kind of psychedelic proggy jam band. They were the headliner, and they had their own green room with killer catering. We had like fucking Oreos and no actual like sustenance, just like Oreos and Doritos and stuff. So we were like, all right. We're like, all right, your first task as the new guy is we want you to go up to, we're going to drive the van out of here like 5 miles an hour. We want you to steal their catering and get it in the van for us for the next gig. And he totally just walked into the dressing room, grabbed the catering, like didn't even stop, didn't even slow down, came right back out, like ran across the field, and away we went.
That's funny.
Successful.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It was awesome.
So you have a bigger history than I not that I thought, because I really didn't know you. At least I didn't think I knew you, but I've seen you some other times.
I get that occasionally, like, oh, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've yeah. Well, dude, I'm 41. I've been here, for a lot of years. Like, so I had a lot of time to just get plugged in with so many people.
Yeah, I feel good that you're older than me. I don't feel like the oldest guy in the room.
Dude, it's funny because forever I wasn't, and now all of a sudden it starts. It happens to everybody, I guess. I was always like the baby in the band.
Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know how often you get out or how much you are familiar with the scene now. It's hard when you get older, married, kids, and things like that. And I know for a fact that I wouldn't be as involved, knowing the scene like I do if I didn't have this going on.
Yeah,
but it's amazing to the amount of talent that's in this area that continues to keep coming.
Yeah.
And the different genres too. It's not just like, oh, like NEPA is a haven for
metal guys.
Yeah, it's just,
yeah.
I mean, it's just like there's pop punk, and there's jam bands, and you name it. There's like everything here.
It's like reggae bands.
I lost you guys.
High school has a dub band. We still got you. It might just be your video you lost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you are.
You got me now?
Yeah, I got you.
We got you.
Okay. We dropped out at
just talking band. Up
Just the
talking
bump.
about how the area has so much to offer, like genre-wise. You know?
Well, it always has, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
even before our time. Like you hear like 70s and even prior. Like there's always been an insane density of musical talent in this area that goes largely unnoticed or untapped, which I think is the other interesting like side of it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's
it's
kind
like
of
a
weird.
yeah, it's
I think
well, I mean, oh sorry, go
I
ahead.
said this to you before. It's like once you get out of the Lehigh Tunnel, it almost feels like the world opens up around you, and you come back here, and it kind of like, I don't want to say it swallows you, but you just kind of feel like you're in bed with your blanket, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get outside tomorrow. You know?
Well, even the tunnel, like you get through that tunnel on the other side, the weather's always nicer.
It
Yeah, it's like
always
a
is, man.
You come home,
Toontown.
yeah, you come home from the beach, and it's sunny. You get through that tunnel, and it's fucking raining outside.
It's
It's like
fucking snowing. It's fucking snowing in August.
Right, yeah. You're
weird.
right. You could kind of feel it. I've talked to people about it before where, it's like the closer you get, you start to feel like the weight of it all, like getting
Yeah.
closer or something. And I mean, I'm not saying it's terrible or in any way, but
No.
it's noticeably different here for sure.
I hate that like prevailing attitude around you too, where it's like, oh, everything's so bad. It's like that's your attitude. It's actually not terrible
Right.
to live around here. It's just you
It's
don't want to do anything
yeah.
with your life, you know?
I mean, it's anywhere. It's I mean, and we
Yeah,
can all
yeah,
go
it's
on
anywhere.
we can all go on vacation. We can visit different cities. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, have played shows outside of here, and it's like it's like
Totally.
a breath of fresh air, right? You see a different venue. It's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
amazing. I wish I had this back home, but like they're still dealing with the same shit there that we deal with here. It's just like
Yeah.
you're just like kind of looking through rose-colored glasses. But
Well, I think Wilkes-Barre is like, let's say 100,000 people live here. If you go to a place where 1 million people live, and you're like, wow, 100 people show up to the show opposed to 30. They're still like, fuck, man, 100 people only showed up. That's their 30.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I said it one time to somebody like on the same topic, like somebody living in Hawaii is sick of the heat,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, for
So
sure.
you just
So
have to find your couple favorite restaurants and make your friends.
yeah.
Yep.
So the band Supernatural Kings, like I'm kind of lost as to how this kind of like happened. And you said you had Gods of Space. Were you doing this band and then you found Josh, or how did this all kind of?
This was a total offshoot because like where I left off, so it was like me and bass player Matt were kind of like, I'm like, well, dude, like I want to do this. He's like, well, I don't want to be in a cover band, and like we're friends. We went and talked about it just like 2 weeks ago and kind of just like tied the knot off on it. Where I was like, hey man, like no hard feelings. He's like, there never were hard feelings. I'm like, oh good, I just have high anxiety. So this is just like a totally different thing. It's not like Josh came in and like replaced my band, because like that is still a thing where it's like I talked with Matt. That's like a hiatus thing. It's like whatever happens, happens. Like so, Gods of Space is going to do whatever. So this is totally different. This is totally new project where we're just playing Sabbath.
Okay,
and that's that.
And have you had many shows already?
This is gonna be the first one.
This will be the first
one.
Be
the first one with us, right?
Yeah, we figured this is like the best way to kick it off. Do a Halloween show at the Jazz and just dress up. We're gonna do 70s looking like Sabbath kind of stuff and have fun with it.
Well, it's cool. I mean, I feel like the Jazz Cafe has been such a staple in NEPA. It's the rich history, always known for its great sound, and you go into the back green room and you see pictures and posters and signatures and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like obviously COVID kind of put a stop to many venues, and it was hard for many venues to even come back from it. But the Jazz Cafe seems to be back. It's it's hosting a lot of great bands. You guys are doing the Sabbath thing, and they're doing a Prince tribute in November. They've done University Drive, they've had Lifer, they've had kind of rolling the dice too on a lot of local shows. They're just this past week they had a local indie rock fest or indie
like Sean
Indie
Flynn's
Fest
was down there. Indie Fest.
I wish I could have gone to that, but like
Rosary Guild.
Yes,
Rosary Guild. I think
stacked
Brisk.
stacked lineup, stacked. It's like So, kudos to the
Back
Jazz
to your
Cafe
point
for
about the talent,
yeah. So kudos to the Jazz Cafe for just like, pushing through and continuing to be a spot for, local musicians and not even local, just also the Talking Heads tribute band was just there
Yeah.
maybe a month ago, start making sense.
I got a poster of a Guerrilla Radio right over there, the Rage Against the Machine one that was there. Killer show, man. Like they bring an axe. That's the bottom line.
Well, and dude, I mean, you may remember even like pre-COVID, mid to later 2010 to 15 kind of thing. Like, there were some like amazing, national acts just kind of passing through between New York and Philly, and all these bands that like Joe Russo's Almost Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be the Benevento Russo duo,
Mhm.
which was unbelievable. Just keys and drums. Excuse me. Who they were like playing with the Roots and like playing huge crazy shit, and they would just blow through the jazz because they had like a relationship with the promoter at the time, and there were a lot of great bands of that ilk coming through. That like Town Hall. Do you remember Town Hall? You ever seeing
The
Town
name sounds
Hall?
familiar.
That's before me.
The name sounds familiar, but not.
I mean,
what year was that?
I mean, Christ, I think that was like probably even earlier in the 2000s. I got back in like 07. Christ, I can't believe it was that long ago already. But so let's say around that time, like 07, 05, 07. But just these bands that were just blowing everybody's minds, shit that you just never saw, so creative, super creative, all these like bands from Philly and New York and surrounding areas. So yeah, man, it's always been a great place to, be inspired and then to get to play and be part of it's awesome.
Yeah, so I started when I worked at the Weekender. I used to take care of the Jazz Cafe's ads. So I used to, create not me personally create the ads, but I would get the entertainment and give it to designers. So I was so always familiar with all these bands coming through.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm familiar with Town Hall. But what was that guy's name? Shit, I can't think of it. But Jesse Malin was there. He's not anything big right now, but mid level, I guess you could say. But there's this guy. Shit, it's gonna drive me nuts. I feel like he's from Boston.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, I think he's from Boston at some point. And
it's gonna hit
was
you
it
like
Zach
3
Deputy?
a.m.
Was it Zach Deputy?
No.
I was trying to remember his name the other day. Zach Deputy.
But yeah, so many, and it's just like this. I think.
Oh, Peter Prince. Peter Prince.
No.
Oh, he's another monster that was coming through there.
Well, it's funny because like I think if you didn't know what was going on in the Jazz Cafe and you were just some outsider and you heard, oh, the River Street Jazz Cafe, it's kind of like labels wrong. Like it's
totally.
You think it's, and I was talking to Ben Travers. So I said Ben's last name first on record for the first time. I always call him Travers. I don't know why. I had lunch with him last week, and I'm like, dude, what's your last name? How do you say it? He's like, Travers. I'm like,
Could you please just tell me?
Like, God damn it, I've been saying it wrong forever.
Yeah.
Like
we definitely won't bust you about it either.
We did one of these. I think I called him Travers, and he didn't say a fucking word.
That's great.
But we were just talking. It's like this rich history, and it's like I said to him at lunch. I'm like, I just feel like this. You hear River Street Jazz Cafe, and immediately you just have this, perceived. It's jam bands, it's jazz, it's whatever it is, and for a long time it was a lot of jam bands. But like over the course of the last 5, 10, maybe 15 years, it's been more than that. And I wish, like, I almost said to him, like, they need to change the name. But it's like, how do you do that with a club of that
institution? Yeah,
you can't, right? But it's like
too late.
It's too late. But it's
at this point, you just say I'm at the Jazz, and people know. They're like, "Oh, cool!" Like, I'm making ads that just say "at the Jazz" for like this thing we're doing, and people know.
But to your point, like I've mentioned it to maybe being out of town or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's at the river, it's at the Jazz Cafe, and like, oh, they have like rock bands there, so it's a thing. Like you're right on with some of that for sure.
Yeah, it's like I don't think you can like rebrand it now.
I think all you could do is call it the Jazz. Like if you can still call it the Jazz Cafe, like on paper, but if you just do like a soft rebrand and just like
even if it was called just the Jazz.
Yeah, just do a social media rebrand because that's what people are going to see, and keep the restaurant as a Jazz Cafe. Like you got to change like the storefront, man. Just change
KFC.
Like exactly.
Ooh, there's no real chicken there.
There's not.
There's no jazz at the Jazz Cafe.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's good. I like that. So what is it? What does it mean to you guys to have your first show at the Jazz?
I mean,
say it again.
I
said what I mean. It's your first show as the band, the Supernatural Kings, the Black Sabbath tribute. What are your thoughts on it being your first show together as a band at the Jazz Cafe?
I mean, I'm chuffed on it. It's like, where else can you go? That's a better spot unless it's like a theater stage, So that's how I feel about it.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, and plus it's it's like a holiday.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. We I mean, Jake and I we linked up on this in what, like February?
Yeah, it was February because we had ice in our beards.
Yeah. So I mean, I was like, yeah, dude, listen, like if you need a drummer, I'd love to hop in. And we didn't have a bass player at the time. So he and we have literally just we've been getting together every Wednesday just to hang out and play these tunes because they're, like you said, right at the top. Like you kind of forget how many great fucking Sabbath songs there are.
And we learned.
But you also don't realize
we learned all of them, man.
Challenging. How challenging they are. Like you think of Iron Man or whatever, but you listen to like Wicked World or Hand of Doom.
Yeah.
Or some of these other like deep cuts where you're just like, fuck, man, there's so many. So there's parts, but there's also like how do you really capture that feel?
How do you nail them?
That swing it, like it's swinging. It's not. I was talking to a buddy today about how it's not just heavy. It's not just dark or whatever. It's also this like totally swinging,
danceable
thing that they
dance to some parts, man.
Sexy and dangerous, and I mean, it's great. So I think that's kind of like the spirit of, I guess, Halloween for a lot of people too, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I used to work for a
bloody
classic
and
rock
dangerous.
Station. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to work for a classic rock station, Rock 107, and they would play Black Sabbath, and it's always kind of cool to hear that. And I remember Rock Band. I feel like it had a few tracks, and that probably introduced that generation to Black Sabbath, and that's kind of cool to think about, like how kids not growing up with that music but being introduced to it through video games, and how that kind of all.
I could do a whole podcast with you on just that, because I could talk about how video games and music like totally built me up over the years. Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, especially Jesus, like Guitar Hero and Rock Band opening that world up.
Guitar Hero, that's what it was. I'm sorry.
Not Rock Band. They're the same game.
Yes, but it was Guitar Hero. It was the
the first one, and
different publishers.
Well, and don't forget, all the Marvel movies are kind of like rekindling. Now, I will say this though. I was getting a coffee the other day at Starbucks. I live like fairly close in Kingston, and I'm there quite a bit. And
they know
get
by
to know
name.
the guys after.
They know them by name.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, do you guys mind if I hang a poster up for this show coming up? And they're like, oh yeah, what is it? I'm like, oh dude, we're doing a fucking Black Sabbath tribute, man, like on Halloween. It's gonna be great. And he was like, who?
What?
Yeah, I was like, all right. I mean, it happens, like.
I'm 40. I'm 41.
People
dude.
don't know.
I'm 41. Come on.
Yeah.
When they say who though, you got to be like, there's a costume contest, dude. Like, just show up with your girl or your boy.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I said Iron Man, and they were like, "Oh, Iron Man."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. People know the songs, and I'm guilty of it too with a lot of classic rock stuff. Like I remember, like growing up, my parents playing it, like, I'm not always like, if you played a song for me, I probably couldn't tell you exactly who sang it
Sure.
half the time. But once you hear it, it's like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Dude, one thing, it's on
Yeah.
tip of my tongue before I lose it. With playing the Sabbath stuff, it's funny because like you're talking about Guitar Hero, like people learn these songs when they're first starting out, and like they kind of plunk along in like their first guitar drum lesson. They're like, oh yeah, cool. And like as me and Josh were learning these, we kind of went in with the attitude like this will be easy, and then we listened to it, like, no, like this is fucking like really
No
hard,
joke.
and that's I think why this band sticks along so good, because they're not just dark, heavy, and moody. It's like complicated in its own way by accident sometimes, I think, too, because like when you write songs, you'll be like, oh, I'll do like a group of 4 for like this. They're just like, we accidentally did a group of 3 and then a group of 7 for like repetitions of phrases, and it's just bullshit like that makes
Right,
it
yeah,
so
leave
like,
it in.
hard. Yeah,
There's no there's nothing square about any of it,
yeah,
you know,
and I think that's
which
why
I didn't
like
really appreciate. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that's why it dances so well, but I think I don't appreciate that either, because it's like you want to be in these like square repetitions, and it's like, fuck, I gotta chart it out.
Well, and I also don't think like now, now that I had almost I
Almost a
guess
year on it,
yeah, almost a year to like really dig into like what Bill Ward is doing as a drummer, of course we all know War Pigs and all that stuff. And I mean, obviously great, but everybody thinks of like the Sabbath stuff is this like those drum fills and the songs are all drum solos and there's all this crazy stuff, but it's so incredibly musical and complex and jazz influenced and
it's
like if you
detailed
really
too.
kind of it's really detailed. And Keith Moon and Bonham and Neil Peart and Stuart Copeland and all these guys are everybody's hero. And I mean, Bill Ward's obviously famous, but I don't think he really gets the credit that
No,
he should get as a musical drummer. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you have your Phil Rudd from AC/DC is obviously just the freight train of like meat and potatoes. And Bill Ward is really special dude, you know.
And you keep saying this too. And it's like Black Sabbath was like considered like this metal, and like to me, it's not
Right.
metal. I don't know.
No, it's I guess because of the time, like when it
Yeah,
came out,
it's
that was
definitely the
probably,
timing, right? But like now
you
that we're
know.
in 2022, it's like that to me is not metal at all.
But
Like you were
if
saying,
you
there's
listen to, if you listen to, again, what if you get like take 2 weeks and listen to like the first 4 Sabbath records. You don't even have to go all the way, but like, listen to the first 4, and you'll immediately be like, oh man, there's a Clutch song, there's a Mastodon song,
yeah.
there's a Pantera riff,
okay.
there's a fucking Metallica turnaround. Like, oh, they do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think
I
they're
think
really, kind
it's
of like the
why, man.
Mayflower.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think Zach Wilde said like, if you wrote a good riff, it's probably a Sabbath riff, and you better like reevaluate it.
That's a new
It's
beer in
funny.
there.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
What are you drinking now?
Well, so when I was making my own porter, I was going around and grabbing any porter that I could find on the shelves because I wanted to compare
Yeah.
mine to others that like are not that they're, I don't want to say legit, but because
Yeah.
Black Mountain's legit, but you know what I'm saying, like breweries that have been around for 20 years. This is actually a
yeah.
Flying Fish Brewing Company caramel espresso porter.
Mm.
Mm.
Very good on the sweet side. Um, but yeah, I got a Cape May honey porter, and I'm like, mine's 10 times better
Oh
than
yeah,
yeah. I
that's a
mean,
good feeling. Yeah.
yeah, it really was. But yeah, so that's my new beer is the
Yeah,
it's sweet,
Nice.
obviously from the caramel, but
yeah. I
it's good.
really cannot stop recommending Back Mountain Brewing. Like, not even as like an ad pivot for you. I really love going over there because they have like board games. You can just get loaded on good beer and play board games. Like, it's a lot of fun.
Well, it's funny the episode, well, 2 episodes before this when this comes out was with Clay, and we talked about how that that location is just kind of cursed. It's been so many things over the years, and it's like unfortunate because I mean I love that location. I love the look of it. It's got the two stacks on it. It's got like inside it has like the boiler. I think it's actual boiler and has like these I don't know what to call them, but like knobs, and it's very industrial looking, and you know,
gauges and pressure
yeah, it was
valves
just,
and
it
stuff.
just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect setting for a brewery.
Is it in Twin Stacks? Is that where?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's such a cool spot up there. Nice.
Yeah.
There used to be there was like a restaurant in there, right? I feel like I remember playing
It
a
was
gig
Metro.
or two in there.
It was Metro. Well, it's been a lot of
Right.
things over the years. It was Metro for, well, it was Twin Stacks, and it was Metro. Then it was an Irish
Metro.
place for like 3 months.
Wasn't it like a Turkish
No,
is that Turkish
that
place still
place
there?
is next to it. Istanbul Grill.
Istanbul
so
Grill.
so when it was Metro, they had the bottom, and then the upstairs was open.
Yeah, I played in
So
the upstairs.
yeah, so now it's all closed off upstairs, and that's where Istanbul Grill is.
Okay, cool.
So
Cool.
the brewery is like it's just downstairs in that but it's such a cool spot, and Clay's awesome, his wife's awesome, and he makes good fucking beer. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, and it's funny 'cause I was confident in his beer making ability, but when he's like, "Oh yeah, I got a coffee guy, we'll use this coffee," I'm like, "Fuck." But also,
Dude, you should ask him to meet you for coffee, and if he recommended like Dunkin' Donuts, you were like, all right, never mind.
You're like, oh shit, dude.
we can't use you.
We can't use you. Yeah.
But he's a cool guy too, and I guess like he's a lot of mutual friends that I went to high school with too. And he's like, I don't know how we never met before. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't go out to the back mountain that often because it's like probably a half-hour drive for me now. But yeah, so yeah, to answer your question, I have went around town grabbing porters because I wanted to compare the porters of you know, that have been around for a while to
Porters of renown.
the porters of now.
Nice.
But
Nice. When we were talking, my kid made a boba tea and brought a little one out for me. Look at that.
Yeah, dude.
I saw that. I'm like, what are you drinking now?
I thought you had a fork.
I'm smoking a huge. It's a pipe. It's a big.
Yeah.
It's a big pipe.
It's a big old Gandalf.
Yeah. Now let's discuss the classics, shall we?
How old are your kids?
5, 12, 17, 16. He'll be 17 soon.
Very cool.
Yeah,
cool.
big spread on those.
So what's that like? Is I can't ask Jake this, but what's that like as someone who's been in a lot of bands, bands that demand a lot of time? I mean, obviously now I think you can kind of like pick and choose what's it worth to you, right? But like
yeah, absolutely.
But years ago when you were in bands that were very active and they demand a lot of your time, how did that play into your life and having kids and getting through that?
Well, I will say first and foremost, having a great partner is paramount. Having a great partner and a great family, just in the sense of even being supportive, because I mean it's such a ridiculous idea to try to be in an original band and do anything. You know what I mean? It's like bananas. So like even to get anywhere with it, that's not obviously to be discouraging, but I mean, listen, it's like it's like trying to make it in the NBA or the NFL or something. I mean, it could be done because people are doing it, and that's obviously why you try, but that it's going to be a fucking uphill battle the whole time. But I mean that I think philosophy side of it is like another podcast probably. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Like for me, I was coming out of music school again, like late 20s, and I'm with my partner Sarah now for like 15 years. So she's been with me through like from the very beginning of like the Leroy uphill battle to like the record deal and all the like the touring and stuff, and then like the crash back down, and then the Stardog thing, and then the crash and the cabinet and the crash and the up and downs. But she's always worked remotely, internet business stuff.
Mhm.
So she was able to be home. Now that doesn't mean that it was easy for her to be home with the kids as we had more and more, like 1 was fine and 2 was a more, and then 3 was
Outnumbered.
as 100%. I went for a vasectomy the day we found out that we were having
There you
a
go.
kid. So
Wasn't that bad?
I'm with you, man. Like,
it wasn't that bad.
no. All the people
I'm
that tell
about
you
to jump on that train myself, and I don't even got them. So continue.
Oh yeah,
It was wild.
Yeah.
So I did like a twilight. I don't know what yours was like, but like I
fully
remember being
out, man.
rolled into the room. I saw the lights above me. I made a dick joke to the nurse. She didn't think it was funny. I don't think.
Yeah,
Because she probably hears them every time.
Well, that's why I'm like. So real quick. So I got these new shirts made.
Oh
Sick.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. Oh,
So
sick. The buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was wearing it, but with my face on it. I was wearing one of these to my appointment, and the nurse brings me back, and she's like, "Okay, down to down to nothing,
Yeah.
whatever. Here's a robe." She's like, "The Popko project. What is that?" And so I explained to her, and blah blah blah. She's like, "I need one of those shirts. Do you have them for sale?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "How much?" I told her, and she's like, "Here's money." So she's giving me money in an envelope. It's for her daughter. She's like, "My daughter loves music and blah blah blah." So I'm selling a T-shirt right before I'm getting a vasectomy.
Before your dick gets pulled out.
Right,
Gated something and loses something.
dude, it was so wild. It was so
before
wild.
your balls are shaved
I
by
couldn't.
a stranger. Yeah,
I did that myself. I was like, no one's fucking touching mine.
I did the same thing. Yeah, I prepped for everybody.
Yeah, they'll charge you a line for that. They'll charge you 3 lines for it.
Yeah, it's like going to the dealership, right? Like
undercoat,
yeah, rust proof.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like this woman's like, she's like, I'm like, you can do Venmo if you want to. She's like, no, I'll do cash. She's like, should I give it to your wife or should I give it to you? I'm like, I don't care, whatever you want to do. I don't care. My wife's in the fucking waiting room. Like,
yeah,
if you want to give it
don't
to
we
her,
have
give it to her.
something to do here or what? Yeah.
She's like, no, she's like, I'll give it to you. I'm like, I don't care. She's like, this is fucking wild. So she's preparing me. She's like, she bought a shirt and whatever. And I remember like getting ready to go in and I'm getting rolled and like, oh, here's this heavy like blanket. You're gonna need it. It's really cold in there. I'm like, oh, that's great. It'll give me an excuse. And she's like, an excuse for what? And I'm like, my lack of size. I don't know. She's like,
Right.
oh, I'm like, is this your first day? Like you should just like laugh at that immediately. But
she's like, I thought I was a dental assistant.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? So I remember getting rolled in. I see the lights, and then next thing I know, I'm being rolled out. They're like, "Oh, you're done." I'm like, "I'm done." I'm like,
That's my experience.
I'm like, that was fucking awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
They put you under anything, or is it just like
a they call it twilight. So you're like,
I got
they'll bring you right back out when you need to be, and they said that like you will answer to commands. You won't know you're answering, but you'll answer to them. I literally don't remember anything. Like I was in, out, and
right. Yeah. You agree, like they were offering me a drink. I was like,
yes.
I'm like, hey, I said, I go, I've never had any surgery done before. I'm like,
Same.
I said, I'm not terrified, but I'm a little nervous.
Same.
And he's like, oh, we'll give you a little something to help you relax. And then they injected whatever they injected. And then next thing you know, she's like, hey, would you like an ice water?
You're done.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. The future's now. It's crazy.
Then obviously, then there's the waiting game, right? You got the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You got to keep it all.
Well, they told me, so here's the thing, and I'm not knocking them because I can never endure what they've endured. But my wife is very like, oh, I've been cut open because she had 2 C-sections. I was cut open at my like stomach. Like, you'll be fine.
Right.
Like, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I was like, I'm freaking out a little bit. Like you said, I've never been, I've got stitches twice. I've never been put under outside of my tonsils, which I don't remember because I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
So I was kind of like a little like, it'll be fine. I whatever. 2 kids, blah blah blah.
Right.
I'm not trying to compete. I will
listen.
bow to you. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Like,
Obviously.
but
Birth is no joke.
yeah. I
mean,
I got it.
I'm not trying to like one up you here. Believe me,
Right.
it'll never happen. And like, I don't want to do what you did. Thanks for doing what you did, but whatever.
100%.
But yeah, so like, I was good. Like, so I took pain medication Saturday. It got done on a Friday, and that doctor's living the dream too. By the way, like, so he like lines you up. He lines all the guys up on a Friday. There's all these guys
just
in the
banging them
room.
out. 20
Yeah, just
minutes.
like, he's just going down the line like a conveyor.
Yeah,
belt.
just
It's like Henry Ford. Like,
Yeah,
yep.
5,000, 5,000, money.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and what was I saying? So
You're not trying to compete. Yeah.
no. So I it got done on Friday. Saturday, my wife was great. She's like, just rest. Here's some pain medication. So I did that on Saturday, and I felt fine. Right. Sunday comes. I don't like taking medicine for anything really.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just don't. So Sunday I felt pretty good. So I didn't take anything Sunday. Went back to work on Monday, and I'm like, I feel pretty good. So I put on jeans to go to work.
Nope.
Big mistake. Big mistake, because I spent the weekend with my feet up in like like mesh shorts, to Monday jeans that were I don't wear baggy jeans, but so they were tighter, and I'm sitting up like in an upright position.
Brutal.
My balls hurt so bad. Like, I was like thinking about leaving work early. I was texting her. I'm like, I'm not doing well. Like, and I'm not.
And it's like an inside pain. It's weird. It's like where the fuck is this pain actually?
You get kicked in the balls, and it never goes away. It just aches.
Which is it makes you. It's not just that it hurts. It's like there's that feeling of kind of like panic about it. Like you're like, it's my balls, man. Like this is a panicky feeling.
Yeah.
You're trying to remain calm in the in the PowerPoint presentation or whatever you're doing. You know what I mean?
It's like your face is like this is a nuclear bomb going off behind your head, like that image.
Oh, dude, brutal.
Well, I'm very fortunate. I work at Axelrod Screen Printing. I can kind of wear what I want. So why I chose I decided to wear jeans on a Monday when I could wear anything I want to. I was trying to be okay, and I shouldn't have done that. It hurt. Went back on some pain meds. Middle of the week was fine, and then like I'm perfect now. But so not even recovery, but also like the whole like you're not sterile until like you provide X amount of negative samples, and like you have to have 20 ejaculates before you can get tested for that sample. It's just a bizarre read.
Well, dude, I mean, that's what I originally said. Like, then there's the waiting game. I meant like, you got to wait the 2 weeks to heal. Which, how long did you make it the whole 2 weeks? How long did you make it?
Well, I mean, I had steri strips that I took off at 2 weeks. That they were still on, but I kind of just removed in the shower.
Oh yeah, I made it about 8 days. I think I made it like a week and 2 days, perhaps. Like TV commercials were starting to be like erotic,
bothersome.
You know what I mean? I just couldn't take it anymore.
Well, they told me 7 days. They're like 7 days until you can resume activity.
Oh, 7 days for that.
That's what they told me.
2 weeks.
That's what they told me. So
Jesus Christ, yeah, good for you.
It's like COVID numbers, man. First they're like, you're gonna die if you go outside. They're like, no, you can go back to work in 7 days.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Fucking amen. So did you mail in the sample, or did you have to take?
Well, I have not provided one yet, because they say you have to do it within the first.
So this is recent for you.
Oh yeah, this is 2 weeks ago.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's amazing.
It'll be 3 weeks on Friday, which today's Tuesday.
Oh.
Yeah, this is like very recent.
You're getting a proper birthday gift then,
I keep talking about it. Like I when I talked to the Talking Heads tribute, they had their show on the 30th at the Jazz Cafe, and I'm like, I would love to come. They're like, oh yeah, come. We'll put you on the guest list. I'm like, I would love to, but I'm scheduled for a vasectomy that day.
Right.
So I've been talking about my vasectomy for many times on this podcast.
Well, dude, it's a big deal. It's hard not to talk about it.
I thought that's what the Popko project was.
Yeah,
we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll very briefly. I'll say that I wasn't informed effectively about the sample So I assumed, just based on probably television or something, that you would just, mail it in or drive it over or whatever. Well,
No.
I wasn't, you get the cooler and the brown bag and the whole thing. And so that's not how it went. And I, so I went to the place and, I ended up having to like take care of business in like a hospital hallway bathroom, like with the door locked and like my foot against the door. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's like, I was like, this is great. This is the vibe. This is how we're gonna do this. And then
Yes.
hand it over. Look the lady in the eye. Like as I handed it over.
Well, it's
like
funny. It's funny you bring that up. So really quick, and then I'll let you guys go, unless you have other stuff you want to talk. I mean, I'll talk all night. I just don't want to keep you guys.
Dude, I'm good.
Getting
Yeah.
late. I know we have Jake's got a party for his birthday, all that kind of fun stuff. But so
yeah,
our first child.
I'm off tomorrow.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Our first child, no issues. It's like, hey, we want to have a baby. Or my wife says, let's try for a baby. And it's like, we have sex, baby. Easy. Like literally that easy, which is crazy, right? So he's born, and then the same kind of scenario for the second, all right, when I was second one, sex, pregnant. We experienced a loss. Get through that.
Wow.
Sex, pregnant, experience a loss. Get through that.
Jesus. Brutal.
Yeah.
Sex,
Oh,
pregnant,
terrible.
get through a loss. All
Fuck.
right.
Third loss.
So 3 losses, right? And then
Jesus.
so after that, we had like just a hard time conceiving after that, which was weird because like we've never had an issue. But with all that being said,
of it.
yeah, well, there's a lot. I mean, she also had her COVID vaccine, which they just come out recently saying that that could mess up the woman's cycles and things like that.
Fertility,
So
and yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that played into it because it was around the same time. Whatever it may be, it is. So we were considered to be, having fertility issues. So we explored IVF, and our daughter is an IVF baby. It was one try, and it she's here, which has been phenomenal, great. Like so, that road was a long road, but it was we had the outcome that we wanted. But as a man, you have to obviously provide a sample because you don't have to have sex to have an IVF baby. And I just want to say that the material that you're given as a man to provide said sample is piss poor. It's piss poor. Like it is. Right. If I could show, so I'm like, you know what? Let's sit down. Let's see what this hospital has to offer.
Right.
It wasn't good. Yeah. I mean, so I won't even. I won't show it on camera because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube and things like that. But the one title that I was
going to say hit me with the title.
The title was "Fill Me with Anything."
First thing I think of is hot dogs.
Okay, so the
tennis balls.
The opening scene was candlesticks.
All right, yeah, nice and easy. Yeah. Work your way
like,
up.
I mean, everyone's got candlesticks at their house, right?
Where are we going from here? Yeah.
Holy shit!
So who has to buy those? Whose errand is that day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the hospital.
Well, I mean, it's just an example. It's a prime example of men we've had our time in the sun, right? We've had the right to vote and all the things in the world. We just get cast aside when it comes to the material to jerk off to.
No free rides, man.
Yeah,
you pay now, you pay later.
Yeah, we've had it too easy for so long. There's the gender pay, the pay gap. Like we can't have good pornography.
Suffrage.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it is what it is. I mean, if that's the worst of it, that I have to endure. Well,
but here's the thing. Here's why you're still a man, because it worked, right? Like you made it work.
Yeah. So that was the first.
no,
That was the
excuses.
first time. I'm sorry. That was for like. So I'm sorry. Let's go back. That was to make sure because I had to get tested to make sure like my boys were swimming.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I had to provide a sample for that, and then the second round was for the IVF, and so I was like, all right, let's see if anything's changed.
Yeah, see if we
And
upgrade it.
so I
Right,
put
right.
the TV on, and
You
that
fill the
was
box like
that was the golden showers. That was
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
and that was
Yeah.
and that was literally just women. They weren't even like with men like
Oh.
squirting and things like that. They were just
peeing.
pissing in the streets.
Right, right. That's a very specific fetish for
That's-
such a public.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
like, can I just get something
Yeah.
generic? Like, how do
Right.
you know that this is going to get me aroused? Like,
Right.
I think it's a big joke. I think it's a big joke because they're like, oh, we have the classics for the old men, like the booklets, and then they're like, we got this video for you because like you got a phone. They're like, you're going to surely use your phone. It's like, no, I want to see what's on offer.
my wife won't watch this, thank God. But yeah, so yeah, I didn't use any of it because I couldn't. I'm like, I'm not going to jerk off these women pissing. Like, that's not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. Like,
Right.
I don't.
But man, I'm really hung up. I'm really hung up on the specifics. Like, I mean, that's such a specific
Right.
fucking fetish to be like, this is gonna do it. Like, not threesomes or, you know, I mean, I don't want to give away all my search history, but I mean, you know, like
You have to dig through the internet to find that in particular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Like I wish I had easy access to it because I was like sitting and I gotta send this to my friends. Like
that's amazing.
like this is like I'm like guys, if you didn't start off your day with the porn, fill me with anything, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
It was just
That's-
it was like
Sure beats yoga and nice meditation or whatever.
Yeah,
Sun
I mean-
salutation, you know.
it just I wish I could find it easily. I really do. But I can't. And it'll just be dead air while I'm trying. So
It's all right.
But
Well,
wait,
I'm sure we
folks,
could put it together. I'm sure
You
we've
can't-
all, you know.
I
You
mean
can't edit it audio, so the dead air is there forever.
use your imagination. It
Yeah.
you know, fill me with anything, and they were candlesticks, and then the rest were just like girls pissing. So
It's
I still
that's
can't.
so
Yeah, it was so bizarre.
it's just that was somebody's job that day
Yeah.
to get that sorted out, you know. Do you think they went to like Cinema 309 and just
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
the thing. Like, I'm like, where does this come from? Who's
Yeah.
in charge of this? And I'm just like, I just want to make a recommendation. Like, first of all, it's old. Like, it's just old. Like, what are you
Right.
doing? Like, we deserve better.
right. Come on.
Again, I don't want to sound like I'm this like, you know, pound on my chest. Like, we need better than this because
The bottom line is you're paying for a service from healthcare, and you need better
God
health.
damn it, Jake, you're right.
Yeah,
Like-
what was your deductible on that?
Yeah,
I mean,
what-
Jesus Christ.
What was the item line for your literature?
You love the item lines. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, this
I
guy's
love
in
that.
sales,
I love
so
it.
he knows the
Yeah,
You know,
I'm in a
hasn't
deep
failed.
with the healthcare system right now. Is my problem.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that right now.
Okay, that's fine. I
I'm
wish.
just gonna say I had $120,000 bill
Oh my god.
after a couple of hospital visits, and now it's like my deductible is $8,000. And I'm like, you fucking cocksuckers! I'm not ever paying you that.
That's fucking terrible.
It's
crazy.
bullshit.
That's terrible. Oh,
But it's-
okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, you found it.
I got it.
Are you gonna send the link?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
you can
so-
find this in the after show.
So it wasn't. Yeah. So
It's in the show notes.
I'll start doing subscriptions on Instagram.
Yeah,
'Cause that's the
Yeah.
thing now, which is kind of annoys me. But
Yeah.
you can subscribe to the Popko Project on Instagram. You can see the. So it wasn't golden showers. It was called. This is even better, and I'm glad I found it. This was called Liquid Gold 18.
Ugh.
there was 17
All the
before
information.
that, too.
Exactly, Jake. Very good.
Yeah.
JM Productions presents Liquid Gold.
Liquid
It's literally these women just firing out piss.
Yeah. That's
Like, so I showed my wife this. I'm like, this is what I had to work with. And she's like, what is that?
Yeah, you got to eat a lot of vitamins to get gold
It's
too.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Either
Liquid.
no water that day or some B vitamins, right?
Liquid
Yeah.
gold. It was clear. It wasn't even yellow. So they must not have taken vitamins.
I would have
Yeah.
smashed that tape. I'm just saying. I would've smashed
It was DVD. They turned the TV on. I pressed play and it goes.
You hear the spin up?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's great, man. Well,
So that's my life. I mean, I have
that's
no
an
problem sharing.
outstanding-
These are situations that we all go through.
listen, you
Yeah.
know, the
If I
more
can't,
Oh,
if
go
I
ahead.
can't tell the story, then who's going to? I'm here for the people.
Absolutely.
I'm here for I'm here for us men going through it.
Happy to be here. The more I find the more you share,
The more
you
you
either
know.
eliminate the people you don't need in your life. Number one, those
Yeah.
people
Right.
are just like, yeah, I don't want to hear this. I'm gone.
Exactly. Thank you.
And the people left are having generally the same experience.
Yeah. And they'll call me. They'll write to me. They'll
Right.
write me on the internet and say, "Hey, man, you were right. Thanks for getting me through that."
Yeah, it's nice to feel like you're part of something.
Yeah.
You're seen.
Seen. I like that. I like that a lot.
It's also like
Right.
if you're this deep in the show, it's like I do want to hear about this part of your life,
Yeah, I mean, my 5 listeners, hopefully they really
Hey, man.
get the gold,
Hey.
the gold, the liquid gold that we're giving them.
We're getting into the liquid gold portion.
This is
for
it.
sure.
This is it.
That's awesome, man.
But no, at the end of the day, the vasectomy was not that bad. I was surprised to hear that it takes as long as it does to make sure that you're sterile.
Well, yeah, because I guess it could. There's a lot of plumbing,
Right. I like that.
between the
Who would think,
fermentation
though?
tank and the tap.
It's not a lot of area. Like it's just.
But think about how small they are. That could be miles that's like fucking miles and miles for them. You're on like 405 freeway
Right.
on rush hour. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's amazing because when you provide a sample, like you're in a weird place, cold room, like you can hear people out in the hallway.
That's what I'm saying.
So my sample that I provided wasn't my best effort, so I was very concerned.
Right.
I took care of it. I'm like, here, I hope this is enough. They're like, oh, that's plenty. There's like millions in this sample. I'm like,
you need,
yeah. So very awkward with the nurses and things like that. Like, not that it has to be, but it's like, as a man, you're like, I can do better than this.
Well, that's funny that all things considered, you're still like, did I crush this or not?
Yeah.
We want to, we're very performance-based creatures.
I was gonna say you're still performing at that point because you're like, this is a public affair now.
You're on stage. You want to perform your best. This is a different stage. Same thing, different stage.
And listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come see this at the Jazz
Perfect segue. Let's go. Supernatural Kings.
John Popko, the opening act. He's going to be getting his 28 days.
Yeah.
I'll do a fucking comedy act prior.
Yeah. Would love it.
October 29th.
October 29th.
River Street Jazz Cafe. Doors at 8 o'clock. Show starts at 9. You can get your tickets right now, today, at holdmyticket.com. And there's a costume contest. I mean, what a night out.
Yeah.
Great tunes, great musicians, and a fucking Halloween weekend costume contest. Cash prize, I heard.
That's what we heard. I think we still gonna try to do those baskets if we could get those going, Josh.
I'm not going to commit to that on the air because if we fuck it up, then we're in trouble.
No promises. If you get second place, maybe I'll give you a slap on the wrist. Be like, "Cool, you're looking hot."
I
don't know.
So what I heard
I think
was
second place. Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, you go.
Well, I think second place should obviously be a basket of Geisinger supplied jerk off material, if possible.
Whoa.
Right?
Why did you assume it was that supplier?
I
never said the provider.
You're right. You didn't. So we'll say local medical facility
monopoly
supplied.
that probably is charging me too much money.
Right.
Whoa,
Look for
whoa.
Liquid Gold 19.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna get Liquid Gold 19 in second.
Blue-
No, that's
Blue
the
Cross
first
Blue
place prize.
Shield. That's where you're gonna go.
Right.
Blue Cross Blue Shield, because I don't want to get, I don't want to get in
Yeah.
trouble. I don't want my provider to cut me off.
Right.
I
No.
don't want I don't want my provider.
That was Josh talking.
I don't want my provider
Yeah.
to fire my wife either.
That was Josh talking.
Blue Cross Blue Shield. Liquid
But
Gold.
the 29th, it's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
fun. And, we were talking about this beforehand. There's not much to promote, right? It's Black Sabbath. Like, you know what it's going to be. There's no surprises. It's not like we're reinventing the wheel. It's just going to be a fun night of,
Yeah,
be a lot
it's
of
gonna
fun.
be a bunch of guys getting down with Sabbath and being real sweaty in 45 minutes in leather jackets.
Well, what I did hear is that the money that you were going to get paid to do this show, that will be the cash prize for the costume contest.
That's
That
it.
is-
All of it.
That is all of it. All of it.
100% of the money.
Everyone make an attempt to
to-
sneak in.
One person.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah. It's a door
kidding.
deal.
Well, guys, it's getting very late. It's you know what, it was funny because when I signed on to do this, I'm like, this might be like 40 minutes. We'll talk about Black Sabbath. We'll talk about Halloween weekend. We'll talk about the Jazz Cafe. We'll wrap it up and we'll go to bed. But here we are. It's an hour 40 in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Josh
that
is
flew
fucking
by.
Josh is freezing.
Yeah, Josh is
No,
like
I'm good.
actually he doesn't have pants on. He's actually in a pair of boxers. He's like, fuck, this is a mistake, but I can't move.
Yeah, it's
He's outside by the
green
fire.
screen. I'm fine. Yeah. I'll tell you really quick. This is, completely unrelated, but we were at our cabin on Friday night. Sarah and I went up just to have like a quiet night together,
Sure.
and we have a wood stove, combo wood stove, coal stove up there. It's like just a little kind of hunting cabin kind of thing. My grandfather built it years ago. And so probably about 1 a.m, the wood fire had died down. It was time to put some coal in there for the overnight,
Yep.
and I just loaded this fucking thing up like 6 inches deep. And I left the draft open on the bottom of the stove. And for those not familiar,
Yeah.
that's where all the air comes up to,
Yep.
make it either super hot or burn slow. I left the fucking draft open, and I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, just
Sweating.
absolutely sweating.
Yeah.
And so I panicked because I was like, holy fuck, there's a fire. Like I left the door open. I don't know. I ran out. The front of the stove is glowing like the sun. Just the whole kitchen's looks like the light was on.
Yeah.
And it was 40 degrees outside, and no bullshit. I turned, and then we had a thermometer in the kitchen. It was 100 degrees.
No.
It was 100. Yeah, it was 100. It was like a fucking sauna. It was
amazing.
like insane. So I opened all the doors and the windows.
I wouldn't know any of that unless my father. We had a wood burning stove. R.I.P. Dad. Wood burning stove back in the day. We used to fucking weekends cutting down fucking trees that were dead and logging them back, splitting it. Man shit, right?
It. Yeah,
man shit.
That's why your beard looks so good, man. Come on, look at that thing.
No, this is why now I own a home, because I that time in my life when I was like 14, 15 years old, I said, fuck this. When I get older, I'm gonna make enough money that I could pay for fucking heat. Now
there you go.
Fucking gas, give it to me.
Yeah, but now the way things are, I wish I had a fucking wood stove.
Yep.
Right. Well, yeah, you know how to handle it if you do get one, right?
The prices are up. The cost of living, man, is just insane. I that's another podcast we can talk about, but it's just like I feel bad for people on fixed incomes. I don't know how you fucking survive. I mean, we're cutting corners everywhere we can just because the electric bill, the heating bill, it's just like, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing that, guys with fuel oil.
Yeah.
Right? Oil's through the roof.
Yep.
All that shit.
Yep.
Totally.
I told my wife, I'm like, yo, this winter, you gotta fucking cut it back. No, I don't want to hear this fucking I'm cold shit. Double socks, hoodies. I got a
Dude,
nice. I got a
don't
nice sweatshirt you can fucking wear. You're wearing it.
right.
Bundle up. The
Yeah.
kids, put them in fucking snowsuits inside the house.
My wife already started putting the heat on 75 like a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
And
buddy,
you
that's
know,
aggressive.
I was like, what are you doing? We're not even in. We're not even
Yeah.
close yet. You know what I mean? Let's go get the sweater. But what are you gonna
That's
do?
impressive. I mean, my wife's touching
Yeah.
70, so that's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's weird though, because yeah, I mean AC. I like the AC down to 70. That's where I put it.
Yeah.
But the heat's up.
Right.
It's weird. I don't know.
It's a weird thing. Yeah. Sleeping at 70. That's the dream. That's the ideal.
Yeah.
70 for sleeping is nice. You know.
This time of year is like perfect. I just have the window open, get underneath my blanket, and wake up cold in 3 hours and be like, why the fuck did I open this so wide?
But that's what men do. We do that and it's fine.
Yeah.
We wake up, we're
Right.
cold, we shut it under the covers. No big deal. Women, I'm
No
fucking
problem.
cold. I'm this, I'm that. I don't know. let's not get
Right.
into
No. You know, keep
I don't
stay
wanna
out of
get-
trouble.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my wife. I love my life. But no, they're amazing most of the time.
That's right.
It's just
That's
amazing
what
how
I
we're
was
just
saying before.
we're just different creatures. We're just different fucking creatures. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. All people somehow completely different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unpredictably different. You ever just go like, what? What?
All
Like,
the time,
what
every
the
fucking day.
What the fuck? What are we arguing about?
Every
Yeah.
fucking day.
You're like,
Yeah,
I gave you the
I'm not
handgun,
mad.
but somehow you have the
Are you
rocket
mad?
launcher.
I'm not mad. What are we doing?
What are we talking
Yeah.
about?
Every day.
What are we
Yeah.
fighting about?
Just today. I won't get into it, but I made the call 10 minutes after I left the house. Hey, I'm sorry that I said that. I was just didn't mean anything. Yeah, it's okay. Every day. You think you're right, and then 10 minutes you're like, I wasn't fucking right. What am I talking about?
We guilt ourselves into it though. I remember so tonight she took the baby to bed. Our son was still up because he's a little older, so like 8 o'clock ish. I'm like, I just need 10 minutes. I need a 10-minute, like I can do this thing where if I just shut my eyes for 10 minutes, it's a nice little recharge. That's
Power
all I
nap.
need
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
Little
All-
power
all-
nap.
I was doing that before the podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So was I. It was awesome. So she comes down after putting the baby to bed. She's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna put both kids to bed tonight. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? Like I'm awake. I will go up with our son to bed just like we always do every night. I said I did I cooked dinner. I fucking did the dishes. What you're acting like I'm just sitting around doing nothing all night. That didn't go too well.
No, of course not.
Didn't
Did you
go,
see
didn't go too well.
a buddy of mine just posted a thing on Instagram and I ended up sharing it, or maybe he sent it to me privately and I shared it. And it was a comedian. He was like, yeah, man, I cook, I clean, I take care of the kids most of the time. I drive them to school. I do a lot of the laundry. And I think I finally get all this work that women have been doing for thousands of years. And everybody starts cheering. And he goes in, yeah, it's really not that hard,
Yeah, don't say that. That's not the right
It's really not
words.
that big.
Those aren't the right words. No, it's
Well,
different creatures. But hey,
that's all.
guys,
I think we hit it all, boys.
this
I
has
think
been
that's
great.
it.
This has been great. It's getting late. I want to let you guys go.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Supernatural.
fun, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad you
this
guys
was fun.
were able
I
to
thought
do
it was
this.
going to be like a tight 45 kind of thing. Like, let's talk about it. Let's do it. And just start talking about dick and
It's
balls.
It's one of
Because
those
we're
things.
boys. That's what we do.
Yeah, vasectomies, things that matter for real. That's what it's all about. Like, it's about the music, but I figure it's one of those things I didn't want to set. Like, I didn't want to do. Okay, this is an hour long or a half hour, whatever it is. Like,
As soon as you set an expectation, everyone gets stiff. It's like, oh, we got to get this in. Like, everyone gets stiff. Hilarious.
are
But
people gonna
you know?
are people gonna watch? I don't know. Are people? I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like people who find it interesting will watch, and that's great.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got the important things out of the way in the very first 10 minutes, and that was Supernatural Kings. October 29th, River Street Jazz Cafe in Plains. Doors at 8, music at 9. The cover charge that you guys would normally be taking home with you in your pockets for playing, going
Cash
to
prize.
no, I'm kidding. But there's a cash prize for the Halloween
I
costume.
hope so. Like the 5 people, your 5 listeners, I
High
think
five.
get more than that. I hope like there's like a group of people like, no, I gotta get the bunnies. Like,
Dude,
fuck,
I'll tell you what.
we're all gonna get mugged.
I'll tell you what. I hope someone does that at your show. Just be like, I have reach. I've reached one
Yeah.
person.
Right.
I've
yeah,
made
man.
it. I've made
That's
it.
actually gonna be
You did it.
Whoever's
did
doing it. I guess Ben is gonna do the contest if Ben's there. That's gonna be Ben's problem to sort out, not ours. We're there to play, not
fucking
do
rock
a costume
rock the fuck
contest.
out. Play some Sabbath.
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
do you want to do it? Are you going to be there?
You want to do it?
So the 29th, I'm booked. Guys, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm in high demand. I had
I could see that.
Montage Mountain reached out to me and said, "We want you to be one of our judges for our $5,000." I should be saying this because Ben is gonna be pissed. There's a costume contest at Montage.
There's
Mountain.
always somebody to piss off. Yeah.
I won't
Fine.
mention the time or the value of the prize. There is a costume contest that I'm judging at Montage Mountain on the 29th
Alright.
as well. So I cannot make it. I wish I could.
Fair enough.
I wish I could because
Dang.
Black Sabbath and you guys. Josh, you've been a part of my life. I didn't even know it, and
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Jake's been a part of my life for several years that I have known it.
Yeah.
And, it's good to be able to support you guys and be a part of what you're doing. So thank you guys very much.
Dude.
Thanks for having us on, man.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Appreciate it,
Do
man.
this again.
So
You
A
think
lot
of
of fun.
cool. Well, hopefully I'll see you guys soon.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm coming out of hibernation
Josh was
myself
like,
because
yeah,
I'm like,
sure. Maybe one day.
Whatever.
yeah.
I guess
Maybe one day. Sure.
maybe when you're off the mountain or
We'll get-
whatever.
We'll get vasectomies, repeat vasectomies. We'll schedule them the same day.
You
Or
guys
we
can
could
take
say we
me
could do
for
like we could
mine. That's what you could do.
double sample. We can see who if they can guess who's who.
Well, yeah, that's a cool idea.
Right.
I mean, I have to
Match
go
the-
for it. I have to provide a sample within the next 3 months to see
Match the sample.
see where my boys are. or
Remember
aren't.
Guess Who? Remember that game where
Yeah.
you'd flip the
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe make that a game. We'll make some internet content out of that.
Call it Guess Goo. Guess the Goo.
Guess who? I like that. Too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're getting somewhere. All right,
right.
guys, let's do this again.
We'll
next
keep in
week and
touch.
We'll,
We'll keep in
we'll
touch.
put a point on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a pin in this for now, and
Mhm.
we'll circle back, as the kids say in
Right.
business.
Yeah.
John, thanks so much, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
guys,
thanks
thank you
again, man.
very much. Best of luck on the 29th. It's going to be awesome, I'm sure. River Street Jazz Cafe is back October 29th at 8 o'clock. Doors open. 9 o'clock is the show for the Supernatural Kings Black Sabbath tribute. So best of luck, guys.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll see you.
See ya.
Cheers.
Show what your small business sells in 7 seconds.
And the Heartbreak Kid making his way up to the platform. John, good luck tonight because this could be you. I'll bet it fits. Remember it was me that said King Heartbreak.